Yo, shout out to the intro. How about the intro, bro? Intro's fire. I like the new music setup too. Welcome to the Cheap Seats podcast. We are back. We are back. I'm Wire Gene. I missed last week. I was in the ER last Monday, so appreciate y'all thoughts. From upper left corner, I got the Prince of Production for Sports Empire Network. It's the man, the myth, the legend, Kyle Edwards.
What's up? What's up? I'm feeling better than my Celtics are today, so anything to get my mind off of that, I'm here for it.
My question is this, right? Would you rather be me sitting at home already lost, or be one of you two goofs down 0-3? I'm kidding. I'd rather be you two at least having an opportunity, but it's not a good night for us three and basketball fans. Like none of us have a win since the second round.
Yeah, that's true.
For being honest.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather lose in the second round in a 7-game series or a 6-game series, or would you rather get swept in the conference finals?
I mean, I've always been of the mindset like the more playoff games, the better. But the way this is going, I mean, I don't know if there's any benefit at all coming from this Heat series for the Celtics at all. Maybe front office has found out some things about some of the personnel, and hopefully changes come in the offseason. But yeah,
you're lucky, Kyle. Let me introduce Big J, Jordan, Louis, Big J, Jordan.
Yeah, how you doing, man? Yeah, I mean, I'm doing good, man. We got a chance to.
You doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm blessed to see another day.
Oh man,
I
love it.
I'm blessed to say our team had a chance, turn the tides a little bit by a game. But yeah, I have my graduation tomorrow. I gotta get up mad early, so I've been through hell, man. So I'm here. I made it. Let's get it going, man.
Yo, Big J is an optimist. He's an optimist in his prime.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta be. I mean, watching that game last night, like Celtics had this game with no fight. At least we don't get blown out, but I know it was on like 6-8 point games.
If it's a sweep, it's a sweep. I don't care if it's a blowout or not.
Everyone's gonna say it's a sweep, but the Lakers can win it. So
fast 10, bro. Fast 1, fast 10, Fast and the Furious. It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile.
It's still
winning is winning.
Yeah, I get that. But at least, like everyone's saying we're going to get swept, but then who knows? LeBron and AD can have a big game, and then D-Lo might have a surprising big game. Schroeder might have a good big game. So,
well, my question for you, do the Lakers come back and win the series, Jordan?
So I think my prediction, we win tonight, and then the tides turn to Denver. It's going to be hard.
What do you think? Expert opinion.
I think I mean, at the end of the day, you still have LeBron James on your team. At the end of the day,
Yeah, you have LeBron
and AD. So he's been healthy. Other than that Looney elbow, he didn't miss a game that game. But if you have AD and LeBron, I mean, you still have a chance. I mean, I think it's just
what's your pick?
Huh?
What's your pick?
I think Lakers in 7.
There we go. There we go.
You've been dying for me to say that, right?
I line him up. He knocks him down. That's the Cheap Seats podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go.
I line him up all day for Big J, and he's just going to knock him down for me every single time.
But I mean, think about it. If we, I know if is just an if, but if we would have just contained Murray last game, because Joker had a bad game, he had like 10 points. Murray was the answer.
If the queen had balls, she'd be the king. If we contained him, I'm sure that the Warriors are saying, man, if Jordan Poole could have averaged 19 a game, we would beat the Lakers. I'm sure Kyle's over here saying, man, if Jimmy Butler just rolled his ankle, we would beat the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
Man, if we had Ime Udoka still coaching us, we would beat the Miami Heat. It's a lot of ifs.
I just feel like
bro, I swear to God, Kyle does not want to blame Joe Mazzulla. Joe Mazzulla.
No, I'm not gonna blame him. I'm just like,
I don't like what he said in the press conference, man. He tried to put the blame on him.
Coach.
Bro,
he was like, "Oh, I should have trained my guys more." Like, what, bro? Like, what are you doing?
Joe Mazzulla's worst press conference moment ever was they asked him at the end of game 1, and they said, they played harder than us in the third quarter. And he goes, well, if they played harder on us, is that on the coaching? He goes, well, we played harder than them in the first 2 quarters. Like, yo, I swear my man likes to shout himself out. Remember game 2 versus Philadelphia? They dominated them, and he got in the press conference like, no one's going to ask about the adjustments we made? Like,
well, I understand where that's coming from, because most of the questions he gets from the Boston media is always like some loaded question to try to make him look bad. So that's why he's kind of go back at them, because I understood that moment, but I feel like from the outside you probably wouldn't see it. But for me, I did not look at this and be like, oh, Mazzulla's gonna have a chance coaching up against Spoelstra. I already knew that was a loss to go with. So I focused solely on the players on the court, because Brown hasn't been as consistent as he was in the Hawks series, and Horford, White, guys like that missing shots, and that's why Miami's winning.
You gotta get your boy Brown, man. You gotta get your boy Jaylen Brown. He's been ghost, man. Like he's like 2 for 20 shooting, and
I'm hoping.
I know we're not talking about shooting.
But I'm just saying, like,
wait, LeBron's like 3 for 30 in the fourth quarter.
But Jaylen Brown,
okay.
I told you after Miami won game 1, right? I said Celtics have an identity problem. They don't know who
didn't make sense when you posted that.
Well, now it's 3-0, so
okay.
Lakers
at 7.
But the thing I don't like is like I don't like his answer last night.
Down 0-3, take a shot at somebody else.
But I'm saying at least the Lakers show effort. Like they're not lackadaisical on defense. Last night they just gave up. Last night
how's the defense been on Jamal
Murray? Anyway, Kyle, you want to come on my show at this, man? Come on, bro.
I don't know if you want me on that stream.
Gentlemen.
All right, let's get into the show, man. Like you said, it's not comedy hour, right?
One thing I want to say before we get to move forward. The one thing I want to say is I predicted this earlier in the year, and I will say it again. You were watching Jaylen Brown's last games in a Celtic uniform. He is gone after the end of this year, and I don't think that's a bad thing for Jaylen Brown or the Celtics. I think that, like JJ Redick said something today on his podcast where he said that Jokic and Jamal Murray are the best duo in the league. And he said that because they play off each other perfectly. Like one's a point guard and one's a point forward. And they run the 2-man game perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
With Brown and Tatum, you can't call plays for them together. They're the same player. They're both wing players that shoot the 3, that have athleticism, that can take you off dribble, that play good defense. Like, I think Jaylen Brown turns into being a better player Jason Tatum by the time his career is over. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, because like what I Gene said, so Jalen and they're the same player. So like when it comes to crunch time, they don't know. Like I was thinking, I think it was a game 2 or 3. It was like
Well, it wasn't game 3 because there's no crunch time in game 3.
oh well, game 1 or 2. It was like it was Marcus Smart. It was on the baseline. I think Tatum had it. He was go double team. He didn't like. They don't know who to give the ball to. Like and like, is he gonna take the shot? Is Jalen Brown gonna take the shot? Like they don't know who to take that shot. Like you see, we have the Jordans, the Michael Jordans. Who's gonna take that final shot? Like who's gonna take that final shot? Jalen Brown, Tatum. They don't want to be too selfish with it. So
okay.
The question, I don't know. Like I don't know where he goes, Jalen Brown. I don't know, but he's gonna be a good fit anywhere he goes.
Let's get into the questions.
Yeah.
You have a start one, sit one, cut one.
Yep.
Kyle. Now, do you have graphics for all 3 of our questions?
Yep.
How about this? Ready? You throw the graphics up in whatever order you want.
Okay.
Probably gonna do me first.
It don't matter.
It don't matter which way we go. Actually, let's go with this one.
Oh shit! I wonder what my graphic is. Cause okay.
I love this. All right, so this is my question.
Oh, okay.
And my question is, which team, if you remove their star player, had the worst supporting cast that made it to the finals? Like, I think that this year's Miami Heat team quite possibly could be the least talented team ever to make the finals. But you also do have the 2000-2001 Philadelphia 76ers. If you want, I can read the lineup outside of Allen Iverson. It was Iverson, Eric Snow, George Lynch, Tyrone Hill, and Dikembe Mutombo. With Aaron McKee coming off the bench. That was their 6th man.
Yep.
You got the 2007-2008 Cleveland Cavaliers. They had Mo Williams. They had Boobie Gibson, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, Anderson Varejao. That's Drew Gooden down there?
Yeah, Drew Gooden. Yep.
Jesus. Sasha Pavlich.
Yeah.
And then you have this year's Miami Heat. Now, going into the playoffs, I want you to hear these names, and I want you to hear them out loud. Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, Kevin Love, who's basically reincarnated, Bam Adebayo,
Jersey guy.
Hero. Tyler Hero was their number 2 scorer the whole year. He hasn't played the whole playoffs. Which team has the worst supporting cast minus their super?
So are you talking about like just like in the playoff, like just overall, like take the guy out in the playoffs,
so like,
or
you look at the 01 76ers? Yeah, but the problem is, Chris, you don't realize this. Theo Ratliff was traded. Theo Ratliff wasn't on that team. He was traded mid-season for Dikembe Mutombo. He was a dog, though.
Mm-hmm.
First half of the season, he was a dog. But Theo Ratliff was traded. So what team do you think had the worst supporting cast that made the finals? So you remove Jimmy Butler from the Heat, Allen Iverson from the 76ers, and LeBron James from that Cavs team, and you put them all in a bubble, and you have them play elimination games versus each other. Who's the worst team?
Yeah, that's a hard one, man.
Right?
It's really hard.
Worst team. You can rank them too if you want. That 76ers team was awful, bro.
Because that's what I'm looking at. Because if I take Iverson off that team, where do you get scoring from?
Was Chris Webber on that team or no? Not
No,
yet.
no.
Oh man, sorry, Marcus.
I can give you the whole roster, bro. It was Eric Snow, Allen Iverson.
Wait, so wasn't Eric Snow on the Cleveland team at the time or no?
He might have been, but
So
he was not a starter, so it doesn't matter. And it wasn't Eric Snow like in his prime, like in 01.
Yeah.
But George Lynch, Tyrone Hill, the ugliest man in sports, Dikembe Mutombo, who was a defensive stopper.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much of a scorer he was. Their number 2 scorer was their 6th man, and that was Aaron McKee. I don't know, man. It's a very tough question. That Cavs team is awful. Think about that start lineup without LeBron.
I mean, they're all kind of take Butler off the team, and I mean, who's going to be their scorer?
I'll tell you what, Caleb Martin. He's really came into his own.
I think Miami could piece together an offense without Butler. That Iverson-less Sixers team, to be honest with you, I don't know how they get 40 points a game. It'd be a struggle.
That Cavs team, too, though. Who's scoring on that Cavs team? Anderson Varejao, Big Z, Sasha Pavlich.
Was that like that was the starting? No, that's the sixth player. I was like, he was the starting five. It wasn't
Well, you're removing Bron and you're adding Drew Gooden. That's
pretty much it.
Well, yeah, that's what you would do. And like with the Sixers, you remove Allen Iverson and you would add Aaron McKee.
I mean, because Cavaliers, if you take LeBron, put in Drew Gooden, I mean, the only 3-point shooting going to get is from Booby. So
Sasha Pavlich could shoot the three.
Yeah,
and then Zudius, he's just a tier force, and then Jared Varejao, I'm not gonna.
He's just an energy guy. He's an energy guy.
Well, yeah, he's an energy, but he can't in today's game. What era are we talking about? Like where the 3-ball matters, or like when this? Because right now we're in the game where it's called positionless basketball. So, what era? Are we talking about like that? Because if the Cavs team
fits your criteria.
Yeah,
I'm definitely going. I mean, I'll go first. So I'm gonna go. So are you going worst, and then the
worst to first?
Worst to first. So my worst, that'd be LeBron, because I'm thinking about today's modern era of shooting. Like take out LeBron, there's no shooting. Maybe from Mo.
Shooting on that Sixers team. Aaron McKee's the only guy who can shoot.
Yeah.
Eric Snow was a worse shooter than you.
Than me?
Well, than me, you, anybody. We were better than Eric Snow.
Well, yeah.
You say, well, yeah, these are professional NBA players. You say that like you're a better shooter than anybody in the NBA right now, Jordan.
I mean, I do have a shot. You see my shot, but it's not the NBA.
Well, you're not a better shooter than an NBA player.
I'm not better than the average. I'm not better than the best shooters in the league, but there's some pretty subpar shooters in the league.
No, stop it.
Anyways, I'm gonna go Cat. I think I'm gonna put Heat last because, like Kyle said, they have like games that they have.
Okay, so you're
have a healthy Tyler Hero, huh?
You're gonna put the Heat 1.
No, I'm putting
2. And the
no,
Cavs
I thought you said
3.
worst to the best, right?
Yeah, okay. I'll do it the other way for you. You're gonna put the Cavs the worst.
Cavs worst.
Second worst.
Second. Yeah.
And then the Heat. I basically wrote it down for you. 1, 2, 3. If you were ranking them in order of good to worst. Kyle, what's your ranking?
Yeah. So I think the Heat would probably be the best equipped out of these three without Butler. I think the team that's going to struggle the most, it's got to be that Sixers team.
So bad.
I mean, yeah, Eric Snow could bring the ball up, but then who are you running plays for? I don't know. Like at least with Cleveland, Z had a decent post game. He had a little mid range. You could run some stuff with that and Pavlovich maybe, but yeah, that Sixers team would be rough to watch.
Yo, Tyrone Hill, George Lynch, none of them could shoot.
Yeah. So we just running like post up Mutombo and hope he hook shots you to a finals? Like, no, that's not happening.
I think I have the same order as you, though. That 76ers team was so bad. Outside Allen. Allen used to put up 50 a night during that playoffs.
Yeah.
It was insane. You ever look at the box scores in the 2001 playoffs? It's so absurd. Hold on, let me see. Let me pull something up for you.
Didn't the Cavs have who was that shooting guard? Not was it something Hamilton? Not Richard Hamilton. Was it Rick? It was Mo Williams. It was something Hamilton. I forget. Oh no.
All right, so here you go. Right. I got you right here. Eric Snow gave you 42 minutes, 13 points, 12 assists, 6 boards. Dikembe Mutombo gave you 42 minutes, 13 points, 11 boards, 1 assist. Tyrone Hill gave you 32 minutes and 18 points. The only other player that had more than 6 was Aaron McKee, who gave you 7, and then Iverson gave you 37.
Yeah.
Here's another game. Iverson gave you 35, Dikembe Mutombo 19, Eric Snow 11, Tyrone Hill 7, Aaron McKee 5. Let's go over the game they won. Here's the game they won. Let's see what happened in that game. Iverson gave you 48 to Kembe 13, Eric Snow 13, and their fourth leading scorer in the game they won was Matt Geiger. Jesus.
Matt Geiger. Wow. Okay. I mean, that at least that team kind of fit the era where it was like slow down, really physical. That Sixers team played that way, and they just had one really good scorer that was enough back then.
Wouldn't be enough today.
No,
right now.
Yeah, you'd run that Sixers team like off the floor today.
Man, that was a bad team. All right, so I guess the Heat aren't the worst supporting cast of all time. Is there any other teams you could think of that would be up in this category? The worst, least talented teams to make the finals?
No. I mean, not off the top of my head, no.
I can't think of any.
You said to make the finals or like to get to the finals?
Mm-hmm.
To get to the finals means make the finals, Jordan.
I would say like that. Well, can't really. I would say like that Shaq team with like on the Magic. Like take Shaq.
Talking about the years they lost to
Houston.
Nah, bro, they had Penny.
Yeah, Dennis Scott, Nick Anderson.
They were all right.
Yeah, they were just immature. That's why they didn't win.
2022, 2023.
What are some teams the other way that if you took their star away, they'd still be okay? That'd be like Boston. You know what I mean? Like you take Tatum away, they'd still be fine.
Mm-hmm. Or if you took,
you can't take Joker away, and they're all right. They're going to be okay, but they're not going to be.
Yeah, they would look different, but yeah, they'd be decent, but they wouldn't be anywhere near.
Like if you took Golden State, if you took Steph Curry away, they would still be in a playoff team.
Yeah.
Poole,
wasn't Curry hurt and they were kind of on a slump during the season?
I feel like if you took LeBron James away from the Lakers, they're better.
It forced AD to step up night in, night out.
Oh my! Well, you think Rip Hamilton was the best player on the team? Yo, listen, that's a great choice, Chris. Chris said I was thinking those Detroit teams with Rip Hamilton. I wouldn't look at Rip as their best player. I would look at Chauncey as. But I get it. That makes sense. They never really had a star.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Yeah.
Can you think of any teams, if you take away their best player, they're still a good team? That's the best one, the Detroit one. That's how LA got into the playoffs. LeBron went out and LA went on a streak. Yo, Tim Todd spitting facts tonight. That's a fact. I think LeBron James has been the worst player for the Lakers in this series. Did he make his first three in game 3?
I think so.
0 for 10.
Yeah. I was kind of waiting for Jordan to jump all over that one.
I was looking at Key posted like the hands getting a new lineup in for the Lakers. Like that's I don't know. So I was looking at that.
You don't think LeBron James been the worst player for the Lakers this series? Outside D'Angelo Russell, he's been terrible.
Yeah, I think D'Lo has been the worst player.
You got Rui Hachimura playing better than him.
Yeah, he's playing
better than LeBron. AD's playing better than him.
He's
definitely playing better than him. Like who's there? I don't know.
I feel like they should start Schroeder tonight.
Schroeder's playing better than him.
Kind of like to annoy Jamal Murray a little bit.
He definitely is that guy. He would annoy the hell out of my best player.
Yes.
All right.
I don't think he's got it in him. I think he's 38, Chris. I don't think he can get to the lane as often. Like, I think his body would just take a toll on him. I'm being honest with you. I really believe that he doesn't have, 40 minutes in him to do that. Like, he can do that at times. I would love the Heat to win it all. I don't think that's going to happen. I'll be rooting for Jimmy Butler. Give me buckets.
I mean, you wouldn't like the story, I guess, of Denver winning their first franchise championship.
I would like that. I would like Jimmy Butler winning his first championship.
Yeah.
I like Denver. I just like Jimmy Butler better.
You might as well just segue that's my question, basically. That's a good segue into my next. That's like the similar.
Let's do it.
I just found a few players. I know, Jordan, you brought up more players, but
so this is graphic for me,
bro. You did that to me. I thought I was going to get away with that.
Oh, so this is my graphic, right?
Yeah.
So my question, kind of like what we were talking about right before this, is I know in the Sports Empire chat we brought up a lot of names and NBA players, and so my question is, out of so we got Dame Lillard on the Portland, Carmelo Anthony, who just announced his retirement, players who have played in the league and have not won a championship, but we put them up in like the best, like one of the best shooters here, the best, elite scorers. So and then you have a few more names: Allen Iverson, Barkley, Steve Nash, Harden. Damn, I'm surprised Harden get one championship. Russell, and then Bulls. Derrick Rose. So my question is, out of those players and then like Dame and Carmelo, what player, or you might throw in a player in the chat, what player do you think should deserve, or are you surprised that does not have a ring?
I want you to look at this list. I'll go first. I didn't expect Kyle to put my player on this list.
Okay.
I was going to try to come out left field with this, but I want you to look at all the players that are on the board right now. And I want you to tell me, out of all of them, which one you see as a winner.
Which one I see as a winner. Okay.
I look at Allen Iverson as a guy that tried to do it all himself, but he was never a winner. I look at Steve Nash, the guy that was not a winner. James Harden always folds in big moments. Russell Westbrook's terrible mental state. Derrick Rose never really had it. Charles Barkley was the best player on that 92 Dream Team. Now, Michael Jordan was the best player on the 92 Dream Team. But Charles Barkley was dominant.
Mm-hmm.
Won a league MVP. My answer is Chuck, man. Charles Barkley was – if you didn't have the pleasure to watch Charles play, I'm telling you right now, go back and watch some of his tapes. That man was dominant. He was physical. He wrote a letter to Bill Laimbeer before a game, and it was hilarious. He wrote a handwritten letter to Bill Laimbeer, and he said, "Dear Bill Laimbeer, fuck you, sincerely, Charles Barkley." I swear to God, I'm not joking. That's literally what he was nuts, and I loved him. He was such played hard.
Mm-hmm.
Charles Barkley would be the answer for me.
I think my answer is a player not on that list. I think it's Carmelo Anthony. I know he's been on subpar teams like with the Knicks, like early Knicks.
Well, you said
that was his decision. He should have joined those Bulls teams.
I know, but I'm saying that like with his elite scoring and his probably one of the best two-way players probably in the league. I think you don't think he's a two-way?
No defense. He wasn't no two-way player.
I'm saying slashing and shooting.
You just call Carmelo Anthony a two-way player?
A two-way as in terms of shooting and driving to the rim?
That's not a two-way player.
Yeah, we normally say two-way. That's offense and defense. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's my two-way slashing. Because when you make a two-way. When you make a two-way, you build on 2K. You make a two-way playmaker.
Oh, you're talking about 2K, bro. It's not a video game.
I'm just saying, like that's what I think of two-way.
Okay.
You can shoot and go to the rim, and I think that he's had so many ample opportunities to like play on. So he's been on teams with Dame and LeBron, and like I don't know. I feel like he deserves one ring to kind of cement his legacy.
He had all these opportunities and didn't win a ring. Tells you how much he didn't deserve one. I want to read you out the 08-09 Nuggets roster just for the shits and giggles, right?
I'm glad you brought that team up.
Wasn't AI on that team? No.
Allen Iverson, Chauncey Billups, Carmelo Anthony, Kenyon Martin, J.R. Smith, Nene. Like those teams, Dwight Howard, those teams were loaded, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't remember Anthony Carter could play basketball. He was not a bad basketball player at all.
He does have 3 goals. That's true, but that's hard. I don't know.
I think that Carmelo is a guy that is always a me guy, but I never thought of him as somebody that should win a ring. Like Carmelo to me is James Harden. Huge offensive bag, little defensive bag, only cares about himself.
Another player I had was CP3.
Nah, you don't need to put CP3 on this list.
He doesn't have a ring.
You're right, you don't have a ring. But I think that Chris Paul. So, like,
all right, so many opportunities he had Blake Griffin, he had
Charles Barkley. Well, I'm lying. Allen Iverson, Charles Barkley are the only 2 guys on this list that you would argue are top 5 of their position of all time.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I agree.
But no, I'm with you, Gene. I think it's Barkley. A lot of people know Barkley for, TNT. People were joking about no rings and all that. But when he was with the Sixers, he was a beast. I mean, there's that one clip where he goes up, snatches a block, takes it down the other end of the floor, rocks the rim. He wasn't the tallest guy, but he knew how to make it work. And then the Suns teams, those are some of the fun teams of the 90s to watch. Him, Kevin Johnson, Marley, guys like that. Barkley just had it all. And I was shocked that his career actually came and went and he never got one. I mean, yeah, it kind of sucked that he played during the height of Jordan's powers and, Olajuwon and those guys that stopped him. But, yeah, out of this list is Barkley without a doubt.
I don't think people realize how good Charles Barkley was.
He was nice.
I think Charles Barkley is the 2nd greatest power forward of all time, behind just Tim Duncan. That's it.
Yeah. I know a lot of people like to put Karl Malone up there. I think Barkley's way ahead.
I have him ahead of KG. I have him ahead of any single person that's not named Tim Duncan. I want to read this out for you guys just for the hell of it. Like, I love pulling this up. This is Charles Barkley's career stats, okay? Mm-hmm. So the first year he was in the league, he averaged 14 points and 8 rebounds. That was the only season in his 16-year NBA career where he did not average a double-double.
Right.
20 and 12.
He had Moses Malone who snatched every rebound.
20 and 12, 23 and 15, 28 and 12, 26 and 12, 25 and 12, 27 and 10, 23 and 11, 25 and 12, 21 and 11, 23 and 11, 23 and 11, 19 and 13 and a half, 15 and 12, 16 and 12, 14 and 10 and a half. That was what this man averaged every year of his career. That's dominance.
Mm-hmm. He was very, definitely underrated, like, because, but those talent, but as far as, other talents in the league like Jordan and Isaiah Thomas and Reggie Miller and stuff, he kind of got overlooked. Definitely.
I love me some Reggie, man.
I mean, I know people are gonna disagree with me, but I think D Rose, he could have, like, if he didn't have that injury, who knows what he could have done, man. He got the MVP. I know that he was on a kind of like a subpar roster, but if he was traded, if he didn't get injured, if he was like traded to like another team, and no injury, I think D Rose could have got a ring, man. It sucks that he got it. Injuries happen, but I feel like with that talent, coming out of Memphis, he could have got it, man. Could have got one at least.
He's near the bottom of my list, if I'm being honest with you. Derrick Rose in his prime MVP year went up against LeBron James and the Miami Heat. LeBron stuck him every fourth quarter for 4 straight games after Chicago won Game 1. He scored 4, 2, 0, and 2 points in the fourth quarter with LeBron James sticking him. Mm-hmm. I want you to understand how minimal he made Derrick Rose look in the fourth quarter for 4 straight games versus the Miami Heat. He don't deserve no ring to me. That was in his prime. That's his MVP year.
Mm-hmm.
Say what you say, how you say it, however, whenever you're saying it.
Oh, thank you, Chris. I said that. No, my bad. Kyle said that. I'm gonna take your credit, Kyle.
Kyle brought up mine.
Yeah. It's all right.
I'm trying to slide it. Thank you, Chris.
Jordan always taking some credit for some shit he ain't do.
Oh man.
All right. Well,
all right.
I guess we'll go to mine then.
I also think, real quick, before you go to it, I also think Steve Nash is the most overrated player in the history of basketball. I've said that time and time again. Steve Nash is the worst MVP to ever put on the jersey. The guy was an absolute liability defensively. He was terrible defensively. He won an MVP averaging 18 and 12. Are you out of your mind? 18 and 12? Come on, man.
Yeah,
he was definitely like one of the elite. I'll say elite passers.
Passes. Okay. So is Andre Miller.
That's true.
Oh no, I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying he definitely was like, a guard that was slick, that would, no look past you, create plays.
Oh, you talking about an all-time great. He never averaged more than 18 points a game. He never averaged 20 points a game ever in his career, not once. You realize how hard that is to do?
He said, Andre.
Especially with the way Phoenix played, where they jacked up shots 5 seconds into the shot clock. It's kind of hard. Hard to think he didn't get 20 points in the season.
I should know this. Did Kyle Korver he got a ring with that LeBron team?
Kyle Korver has multiple rings, bro.
Okay.
But he doesn't deserve to be talked about in this list, even if he didn't.
Yeah.
You want to know people that are crazy that have rings that you never thought they did? Gary Payton. Did you know he has a ring? And you could tell me what team he has a ring with, Jordan? I think Kyle does.
It wasn't the Supersonics, right?
Nope. Gary Payton has a ring.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fun fact. I didn't know that.
He has a ring with what team was it, Kyle?
Well, he was the Miami Heat.
06 Miami Heat. That is correct. He got a ring as the backup point guard. He actually started a lot of games in the finals. But that was Dwayne Wade's team. It's crazy how many ring chasers there were near the end of their career. Like Barkley ended his career on the Houston Rockets trying to chase a ring.
Yep.
Karl Malone in LA. How about that team in LA, man? Malone. I think they had
Peyton was there too.
Peyton, yep. Nash. Oh. Terrible. All right, let's move over to your question. Start one, sit one, cut one.
Here we go.
It's gonna be tricky, I feel like. Oh.
Yo. It's so easy to me.
Speaking of Carmelo and Iverson.
I'll go last.
Kyle, you go first.
Well, I put Carmelo because he retired, so I figured why not throw Carmelo in there. Rob Parrish won a ring. Oh, that's true. Yeah, Parrish won a ring in '97 with the Bulls. A lot of people probably don't know that one. And funny enough, he brought up Tracy McGrady. I thought about throwing McGrady on here, but I thought with the back injury, he didn't play that long enough. Might be easy. So wait, Jordan said for me to go first. Yeah, I'll go first on my question here. So I'll go. Because when I put it together, I was going about this 20 different ways. But I would say I'd probably start. I'd probably start AI.
You got to start him or cut him. He can't be off your bench.
I know. So that's right. That's what I'm like. I'm starting AI. Bench.
Whoa, Chris.
I mean, I don't have what Chris has. I'm actually benching Carter, cutting Melo.
Chris says start AI, sit Melo, cut Vince.
Yeah, I just have Vince and Melo backwards. But yeah, I mean, that's true. If you're not starting Iverson, you're cutting them. So I'm starting Iverson. I'm not going to cut Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson in his prime was better than these other two players.
Right.
It's not close.
Yeah, I agree.
In their prime. The problem is this, right? Allen Iverson never, he looked so good in all-star games, right? So he proved that he could play with other like teammates that were superstars. He never had a superstar during his time in Philadelphia. The best player he ever played with in Philadelphia was Jerry Stackhouse, Larry Hughes.
Larry Hughes was nice in Philly.
He was.
Yeah.
The Flight Brothers.
And too bad he had Weber at the end of Weber's athleticism. He'd already been shot by then. Yeah.
Jordan, what's your 3?
Man. I think I'm gonna start Iverson. I'm gonna start Iverson, bench Carter, cut Melo.
Okay.
That's crazy to me. Me and Jordan have the exact same 3. Start Iverson. I want to bench Vince Carter. I think Vince Carter is a guy that can come off your bench. I think he was versatile. Vince Carter in his prime could shoot the 3. He could dunk. He could play defense. Melo did none of that. He shot the 3 well. But Melo was a great – like if I was starting a one-on-one basketball league, Melo would be in that league. His offensive bag was ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But if we're being honest with ourselves, Carmelo was a terrible defender, very lazy defender, a bad teammate. I would not – no, there's no way. I would start AI. I would bench Vince Carter, and I would cut Carmelo Anthony.
We all agreed.
I was kind of torn on like benching Melo because of his 3-point shooting. Because I know like prime Melo, if he's open, he's making that 3. Like, but Vince Carter can flash.
The reason Melo's teams never really won is because they couldn't run a consistent offense around him.
Right.
Like Melo was the offense. You had to run the ball through Melo. Whereas Iverson could really pass. Like he was a very good passer.
Oh yeah.
Just giving an opinion. Chat, any questions you guys want us to cover tonight? We will be wrapping up a little early as Big Time. We'll be sliding in at 8 o'clock to the StreamYard Sports Empire Network.
Oh, here comes Brett. All right. Perfect timing,
Brett. All in Melo's hands. The possession was over.
Exactly.
It's facts.
Brett.
Facts.
That's facts, yeah. Brett, I'm pretty sure you have a question first, man.
Which, oddly enough, when I watch some of like Donovan Mitchell possessions with Utah and Cleveland, kind of turns into a Melo type offense where they give them the ball, get out of his way, and say, "Do something." And I kind of wonder if Donovan Mitchell might have a career path like Melo. We'll see at the end. He's a great scorer, but could never get a ring.
That's a great question Brett just asked. I pulled it up just to look at it. Would Jamal Murray be the number 1 pick in the redraft of 2016? Now, if you're not familiar with the 2016 draft, I pulled it up for you.
Yeah.
I'll read you the stars that are in that draft. First pick was Ben Simmons that year.
Okay.
Brandon Ingram was the second pick. Jaylen Brown went third. Dragan Bender went 4th. Chris Dunn went 5. Buddy Hield went 6 before Kentucky freshman Jamal Murray went number 7 overall. Now, other notable stars that went in this draft, Domantas Sabonis went at 11. Pascal Siakam went at 27. DeJounte Murray went at 29.
Wow, damn. Yeah.
So, would you have drafted Jamal Murray number 1 overall in that draft?
Like the way he's playing right now?
No, it's a redraft. 26. Yeah. Like you know what you know now, you can redraft.
Yeah.
So you said he was 7, right? In that draft?
I mean, the people you're comparing him to is would you draft him over Brandon Ingram? Would you draft him over I think the biggest question is Jaylen Brown, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, that's what I'm
saying.
I agree.
That's the only one I'd hesitate on. I like Brandon Ingram, but yeah.
I might hesitate on Ben Simmons too. It's like
what?
I said I'm gonna hesitate on Ben Simmons too. It's like I was joking.
No,
but you never know like what Ben Simmons. I mean, prior to the Because he was still that hot talent coming out of LSU.
He wasn't even that great at LSU. I tell people that all the time. Like, he was so overhyped at LSU, it was hilarious to me. Because he couldn't shoot in college, refused to shoot in college. What a surprise. The same thing happened in the NBA.
My guy, I'm going to say this to you guys very, very simply. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. But you can say whatever you want. I've wanted Ben Simmons off the 76ers before they drafted him. I couldn't stand Ben Simmons. I never could stand Ben Simmons. He was a loser. He always was a loser. He always will be a loser.
Yeah.
Loser. I tried trade. I was like, you should trade him for the number 2 pick. Memphis was looking to trade for a point guard. The number 2 pick. They were trading the Zion draft. The year Ja Morant went number 2. And people are like, no, you're an idiot. You got to get more than that. Like, there's no way you should trade him for number 2. I said, I would trade him for number 2 pick and take Ja Morant right now. Could you imagine 76ers team, Ja Morant and Joel Embiid? What that would bring? Seriously.
Yeah.
Then when they were talking about trading him to begin with, I was like, the Spurs, Greg Popovich basically came out and said, I would trade any single player on my roster for Ben Simmons. I would have went, okay, no problem. Give me DeJounte Murray. This was when he was first coming up. I would have took DeJounte Murray for him. Then the Kings were like, we'll give you Halliburton and Hield. And the 76ers were like, we want De'Aaron Fox instead. You could have had Halliburton and Hield for him. And you settled on James Harden.
Yep. But yeah, I'm with you because when I heard the story about, the team declining going to the NIT and Ben Simmons was a big part of that at LSU, I was like, yeah, this guy, not a winner. Yeah, those stories came out too about him giving up in Australia. Yeah, all that.
LSU, not UCLA.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree. Chris, that's spot on. Ben Simmons is a quitter. So the question that Brett asked, let's get back to it. Jamal Murray or Jaylen Brown? You had the number one overall.
Murray. I'd probably go Murray.
Yeah, I go Murray. I think Murray is outperforming Jaylen Brown by a mile or more in this playoff. So I'm going Murray over Jaylen Brown.
I'm going Jaylen Brown. Let me tell you why. Jaylen Brown's always been a rob and never been a bad man. And I think that once he gets the opportunity to be the lead ball handler, the go-to guy on a team, you will see as good as Jaylen Brown could be.
I don't know who asked the question in the chat earlier, but where do you see him going?
I don't know. A lot of talk is
because he wants to go to a contender, not a freaking to the Hornets or like.
Well, there's a lot of talk about a sign and trade or trade for Bradley Beal, moving Beal to Boston.
That's been talked about for a few years, yeah.
Beal for Brown has been a big conversation piece. I think that makes both teams better because you have your 100% number one. You get a better shooter on the Celtics with Beal, a better scorer. You already have the defense of mindset on the Celtics team. Jaylen Brown goes to an opportunity where he gets a chance to be the lead dog around a team that's a bunch of dogs. In Washington, that's a win. I could see Jaylen Brown going to a team like Dallas. I think he would fit well with Luka. I believe it. I believe he would understand his role in that situation. I think when he plays next to Jason Tatum, they're the same player. Brown to the Thunder, SGE, Jesus, I can't say it. SGA and Brown would be nice, make them a legit playoff team. You basically have to give up Josh Giddey to do that.
What about Atlanta with him and Trae Young?
Well, DeJounte Murray's there.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about you. Yeah.
I mean, they also have Chet coming back, too. You'd have to give up Josh Giddey to make that happen. That's fine. Brown makes a great Scottie Pippen. He does, I agree. It's just there's no Michael on Boston.
Kyle, I want to ask you, so since you're the Celtics fan, how do you feel about Brown right now? Like him in the playoffs, how do you?
Look,
Like I mean, this is serious.
Brown is. I know. Brown's one of my favorite players because, they drafted him. He was a guy not a lot of people actually knew about because he played at Cal.
Where'd he go, Cal?
He played at Cal, and a lot of people, especially in Boston, you don't watch a lot of Cal basketball. And each year he's developed and gotten better year after year. I hate the fact that this is the moment that he's kind of chosen to play his worst basketball, because now it's going to look like, he made the All-NBA second team, so he's eligible for the Supermax, but now everybody's going to point to this playoff series and be like, he's not a guy who deserves it. And, you can't necessarily be mad at that point of view based off the games you're watching, but I'm like Gene. I think Jaylen Brown is a really good basketball player. It's just that right now it's not working in Boston, and I think he has another year before he's an undrafted free agent, so I'm sure they might run it back next year just to see. But I'm always going to root for Jaylen Brown, whether it's in a Celtics uniform or not.
I gotta read this quote to you guys. Yes, I think Wemby's going to be absolutely unbelievable. I don't think there's any chance he's not an absolute superstar. But I gotta read this quote. We are a basketball and football show, and this quote just came out. Just came out 3:30 today. I'm not sure if you guys have seen it yet. DeAndre Hopkins says on the I Am Athlete podcast that he wants a stable management, a quarterback who loves the game, and a great defense. What I want is stable management upstairs. I think that's something I haven't really had the past couple of years of my career coming from Houston and then in Arizona. I've been through 3 or 4 GMs in my career, so stable management, a quarterback who loves the game, a quarterback who brings everybody on board with him and pushes not just himself, but everybody around him. And a great defense wins championships. That is
everything Arizona doesn't have.
Didn't he mention something like that about Kyler Murray, right?
That is shots fired.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray.
Yep.
That is shots fired. Every single guy from Arizona keeps coming out. Patrick Peterson, DeAndre Hopkins. There's so many guys that come out and take shots at Kyler Murray. Shots fired.
And then Big Ben takes shots at Pickett.
Boy, that's a different conversation. He admitted.
Oh yeah. Well, then he kind of like, oh my bad, I didn't mean to do that.
He was rooting for him to lose early in his career, and then he apologized and got on board.
He said, "Oh, he wasn't solid like in week 3 of the season, like whatever, something like that."
So he was hoping for him to lose.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I saw that quote from DeAndre because he posted a video working out. This was like after the Ravens signed Odell. He was like, "Oh, he was working out with his buddies, and he was like, who said I left? Or I thought he was going to stay with the Cardinals, but apparently not." So, because people thought he was going to go to Ravens or Buffalo or Chiefs, and they're like, "Oh, who said I left?" or something like that. So, I don't know what. But on NFL Network, they're saying how like with the Odell so getting that $18 million for 1 year, and no team wants to pay like DeAndre Hopkins. I'm assuming Bills would or whatever, but I don't know. Like he might have to stick with Arizona, or I don't know, man.
But after that statement, if he's going to stay there, like he's got to talk to the front office. He's got to talk to Kyler one-on-one.
It's going to be an awkward conversation.
Unless if Kyler didn't hear it because he's on Call of Duty, then maybe he's fine. But
Oh, Kyler were here. He constantly forget about these conversations.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
That's going to be awkward. OTAs and
they're done. DeAndre Hopkins is forcing himself out of here.
But I feel like that was kind of the thought before the draft, and they didn't do anything then. So why are they prolonging this? Because now it's even worse. Because now if I'm a team negotiating with them, I'm not going to give them a lot for him.
I know he's being honest, but I don't want no player to talk like. I don't want a player in my locker room to like talk down on somebody. I mean, I know he's like, okay, he had 3 or 4 GMs or whatever, like. But like, I don't want no team. I want a player, and he's a good talent. I just don't want him to stir a locker room up.
Jordan, let me spin it on you. You're DeAndre Hopkins. Your career is DeAndre Hopkins. I'm gonna put you in DeAndre Hopkins' shoes for a minute.
All right.
You're drafted to the Houston Texans. Their starting quarterback is Matt Schaub. He's terrible. Oh, follow me. Just give me like my 2
minutes. No, I know he's terrible.
They go to Brock Osweiler. and all these other quarterbacks before they get to Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's there for a little bit, has an issue. He has Deshaun Watson for 2 years, and then he gets traded to Arizona. You have Kyler Murray, who's a petulant child, baby. Wouldn't you want your career not to end with organizations like Houston and Arizona?
No, I don't.
You can say what you want about him taking shots at the organization or the quarterback, but he's doing what he has to do to get out of the situation he's in.
No, I don't. Dad, oh my God, turn the lights off, man. So that's going on TikTok, right? Shoot. But no, I get your point.
That's his internet.
Like
too.
I would not want to.
His internet went out, bro. He's like in and out. Like, yo, the freeze frame looking at this like this is hilarious.
Am I good or am I good?
All right, you're good now.
You're good now.
Oh,
good now
right.
for a while.
No, I was saying. I mean, I hear you. Like, if I'm in his shoes, like, I don't want to end my career or with Texans and corners of my resume. But I'm thinking like as an owner of another team, I want a guy to come in and not stir up a locker room because, like Kyle said, if you go back to Arizona, there's gonna be some problems in the locker room. Like, you know, he kind of took shots at Kyler Murray. So like I don't want.
Kind of.
Yeah, he absolutely
did. He did. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about his talent. I'm just saying that, like, coming in, I want a guy who's level-headed.
Fast forward to a week, if they say Ravens traded for DeAndre Hopkins, you'd come on here and be like, "Oh, Super Bowl."
I mean, I would be really, really happy.
All right, gentlemen, we got a show that's right behind us at 7:57. Any final thoughts?
No, just
Lakers in 7, right?
Yes, sir. I mean,
final thoughts. I got Lakers in 6.
He's trolling.
Well, yeah, because they can't win it in 6.
Gene and Freddie's gonna be butting heads in the chat. It's all good.
We're not gonna button heads. Freddie's been silent. He's been silent since day.
Yeah, one day y'all blew
what's
my
that
phone.
about?
Okay. Oh, I think he works. He works.
Oh yeah, he works. He works when they lose, but he's
commented on other games when he's been at work. Come on now.
All right, y'all. We gotta wrap it up. Thank you for tuning in to the Cheap Seats podcast. I'm Wire to Wire Gene. That's the Prince of Production, Kyle Edwards. That's Jordan Jean-Louis, Big J. And we are signing out.